In Lee's own words, he likes to say, I may look special. I may sound special. I may even act special. But I'm really not all that special. At least, no more than any of us. Please help me give a warm Merrimasters welcome to Lee Mowatt.
Hello? Yes, this is Lee Mowatt. Who? The Guinness World Record people? Yes, I know I have a video on YouTube. Are you kidding me? I am? Do you mean to tell me I am the oldest person on the entire international YouTube site able to execute a round-off back handspring and showing that in video? Do you mean I am a record holder? Pardon me, can I call you back? I'm about to deliver a speech right now. Yes, I'll call you back later. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Wow, the Guinness people. Wow. My name is Lee Mowatt. I recently retired from a 30-year software engineering and manager career. That career has led me on some incredible journeys where I've been able to achieve a lot of recognition at the cost of my stress levels, my relationships, and my connections. But a year ago, I pointed my life in a direction that has been building up inside of me for over 10 years. Over 10 years, this transition to the phase of life that I'm now in started on October 13th, 2004. On that day, I left work for home, but I never made it. I did not know when I left work that I would not see my home for another month. I met with a very serious accident that evening. When I woke from my coma, I saw my wife staring at me in the way that she always does. In talking to the doctors and to her, I understood that my motorcycle was hit by a 17-year-old driver who had the sun in his eyes. I had suffered head, lung, and other internal injuries. But worst of all, my right foot and shin was crushed between an 800-pound motorcycle and a 2-ton Buick. The doctor indicated that my wife forced him to save that leg. His professional judgment was amputation. But nonetheless, although being forced, he was proud of his reconstructive work. He did the best he could to find all the pieces and parts that were supposed to be there. I still needed significant skin grafts to replace the skin that had gone AWOL in this ordeal. I recall watching television that evening after everyone had left my hospital room and seeing a commercial on television of people strolling along the beach. It was then that the doctor's words started to sink into me. I would not walk again. I started crying unbelievably. What would I be if I'm not able to walk? Wasn't walking a part of who I am? Isn't walking a part of who we all are, at least most of us? I now carry a permanent wound from this event where my heel used to be. It is permanent because the skin grafts in this area did not take. The wound requires weekly, sometimes daily care, but that's a normal part of my day. This wound constantly reminds me that we don't always have a choice of the pain that we feel in our life, but we always have the choice of how much suffering that pain causes us. I spent 4 months in recovery reflecting on many, many things. But before telling you the effects that this accident has had on me, I'd like to give you a few other items that provide background and context for my story. I am a passionate motorcyclist. I've ridden across this great country twice and through Canada once. I have traveled over 350 miles by motorcycle, and I average about 14 to 20,000 miles a year. The appeal of riding a motorcycle is, of course, wind therapy. What do I mean by wind therapy? When you are on a motorcycle, the wind is in your face, and everything, I mean everything, is behind you. Moving on, since being a teenager, I've always engaged in very physical, athletic pursuits. You can tell that by looking at me. I have a passion about fitness, and my unusual workout routines reflect that. I have several videos of my workouts that have been put up on YouTube. About 4 months ago, I started to collect all of those videos into a single channel. One video in particular is receiving special attention, and you may have overheard the conversation that started this talk. Apparently, I am the oldest person in the entire YouTube site to execute a round-off back handspring. Before me, the oldest person was 60. I am 63. It's a long time. GrowthWorks is the name of my new endeavor. This is just getting underway, so please don't rush to the website. It's still under construction. GrowthWorks is essentially an umbrella which provides information, tools, speakers, all targeted at challenging the status quo of how we regard the boomer generation. The basis for this effort is an unusual demographic event in our society that will happen over the next 10 to 30 years. This will be the very first time in human history that people over 60 will outnumber people under 20. This has never happened before. The significance of this is immense. GrowthWorks is being put in place to educate, inspire, and advocate the boomer generation. GrowthWorks is a fruition of a promise I made while lying in a hospital room 10 years ago. I appreciate your attention and interest in my snippets of my life, but if you'll excuse me, I apparently have a phone call that I have to return. I thank you all for listening. Amen.